Good morning. Welcome to Daylight with Dean number 23 on May 4th, 2020. I believe it is approximately 6:15 a.m. The commitment with Daylight with Dean is that it starts every day at daylight. And you may wonder how hard it is for me to get up and be ready at daylight. Well, this morning it was easy because at 5 a.m. my telephone rang. It was Guardian Security, who monitors our church building, calling me to let me know that they got a low battery signal indicator. So, once again, I failed to turn my mute button on my phone, so you'll probably hear a few dings and dongs while we do this morning, or at least I'll hear them. You may not through the microphone, but so at 5 a.m. I asked them to patch me through to customer service to have the new battery team come out and check and install new batteries in our security system, and they don't open till 5:30. So by the time that conversation was over, I was awake, and so was Leslie. Welcome to Monday morning. Hey, I'm so excited it's Monday because it is my Friday. I mean, it is my Saturday. It is my day off, and for the most part, I get to navigate my agenda on my day off. Last Monday, as I mentioned, I worked, had a funeral and had a bunch of other church-related business, and so that was last Monday. Today, my calendar's clear, and I get to do what I want until Leslie tells me otherwise. So I'm so excited to be here this morning with you, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. And as I indicated, Daylight with Dean begins every morning at daylight, so it'll be a little bit earlier every day, and I hope that you enjoy sharing that with me. Now, fortunately, you can catch it later on as well. You don't have to catch it live, but I'm glad that you're here. I want to share with you something that really caught my attention in my spirit. As I have mentioned in the past, I just live life very intuitively, and I try to just pay attention to things that catch my attention, to things that grab my attention. And I had one of those events happen this past week that I would like to share with you. And when those things grab my attention, sometimes I really believe it's the Lord whispering, hey, me here. I want you to see what's going on with this. I want you to pay attention to this. So there's this show that Leslie and I caught on PBS on the Create channel a couple months ago called I'll Have What Phil's Having. And Phil Rosenthal, who was one of the writers for Everyone Loves Raymond sitcom, he goes around the world enjoying food in different cultures and different settings, and it's a fascinating show. Leslie and I have really enjoyed it on the Create channel, and we are quite fond of food as well. So I don't know when watching other people eat food on TV became a thing, but we love it. Well, a couple years ago, this show got picked up on Netflix and renamed, kind of rebranded, called Somebody Feed Phil, Phil, his name, Somebody Feed Phil. And he has 2 seasons on there, and season number 2, there was an episode that he goes to Ireland. I believe it's Dublin. Ireland is the name of the episode. So I personally think you'll want to check it out. He's funny, he's witty. He brings his ethnic heritage into it as kind of the backdrop, comparing it to everything else that he experiences. He video chats with his parents near the end of the episodes, and it's hilarious. So, near the beginning of the episode in Dublin, Phil says, I'm going to a store and restaurant to meet two twin brothers who may be the most enthusiastic people I've ever met in my life. And for nearly the 10 minutes that they're featured on this show, they have so much joy and so much enthusiasm and so much excitement about their life, their job, their store, their food, their guests, their friends, that Phil just sat there with his eyes wide open like a deer in the headlights. Like, I don't know how to interact around somebody that has this much joy in their life. And for me, oh gosh, I started to cry when I was sitting there. And I'm like, why am I crying watching these two brothers have so much joy? What is that triggering inside of me? And I'll get to it in just a second, because we may have a special guest appearance here on Daylight with Dean. This morning it may be Daylight with Dean and Leslie. Leslie too was awoken at 5 a.m. and so we have a good hour and 15 minutes under our belt of awakeness. She's remarkably more of a morning person than I am, and so she came in to get her coffee and come on over to this side. First guest appearance.
Morning.
Leslie is with us. Now wait, let's do it together because I've been waiting. Favorite moment many of you talk about is our morning sip.
In my Italy cup.
So Leslie, people want to know how you feel about this being filmed in your kitchen so early in the morning. You're good about it?
Good. Gets the kitchen cleaned up. Works for me. And you make so much coffee. I love it. So, morning.
Thank you. That's a bright expression of joy right there. Hey Leslie, would you come and look on my phone and make sure my sound's on, because I didn't test it. Look at people's comments. Does it say anything about my sound?
Yes.
Okay,
People
great.
are watching.
So thank you. So I'm watching this episode and I'm crying because these two twin brothers have so much enthusiasm, so much joy, so much excitement about their life. And Phil is so caught off guard by it all and looking like a deer in the headlights. I finally found two brothers that, in this episode, that approach life with the type of joy and enthusiasm and excitement and anticipation that I do. And I got to see from a different perspective how strikingly odd that comes across to people. And I'm sitting there and I finally feel understood. I see these two brothers with their just unashamed, quirky, funny joy, and it's like, I have that. And I have to tell you, the most surprising thing for me, being a pastor at the River for 15 years and being in Tupelo, Mississippi as a pastor for 5 years, the most striking thing for me in that 20-year period of time is how few people live with pure joy, and how rare a commodity joy is. And so I want to this week just do a deep dive into joy. And it's probably going to be a theme for the week. And if it bothers you, I apologize. But that may be the Lord kind of poking you, saying, hey, what's getting in the way of joy in your life? Or why does it annoy you when somebody talks about joy or looks at joy? And so I want to explore joy this week. And guess what? The sermon is on Sunday, coming up on Mother's Day. Yes, you guessed it. It's joy. That series is based on a book in the Psalms called Open and Unafraid, the Psalms as a Guide for Life. And I have to tell you, the Psalms in Scripture, of those 150 Psalms, have been one of the two most significant guides in my life. Psalms, Proverbs, and the book of James. Those three have influenced my outlook on life and have guided me in my faith in significant ways. And I can't wait to look at this theme of joy through that lens. And I think part of the journey of joy for me is just the willingness not to hide. Just the willingness to be open and vulnerable. Just the willingness to share my highs and my lows, my good things and my sad things, my real life situations and experiences as I navigate them. And ever since a boy reading the Psalms, I've been fascinated at the psalmist, and especially David, as he writes the Psalms. It's unfiltered. It's filled with joy and anger, rage and hope, faith and doubt. I mean, it's filled, like, he hides nothing. And for me, choosing to live life just open and unafraid, choosing to live life disclosing the good, the bad, and the ugly, has been quite life-giving, and it's been quite freeing, and it has helped me experience life in all of its fullness as Jesus came to give us, as he declares in John chapter 10, verse 10. And so I want to invite you this week to begin to look at the joy level in your life. What influences it? What drains it? What replenishes it? Kind of what the source of your joy is. How much work you have to put into having joy. How intentional you have to be with it. I want to explore all of that this week. I really do. If you have Netflix, I want to invite you to watch the episode of Somebody Feed Phil that's on Netflix, and the episode in Dublin, Ireland. And if I started to weep and was moved near the beginning when he met these two brothers, I think it's the opening scene. He goes to a bunch of different places, but I think it's the opening one. Wait till the very end. hang on till the very end of the of the episode, because it ruined me. It ruined me with joy and emotion, and it was a pivotal experience for me, and it was like an analogy that I can't wait to talk to you about tomorrow. So this day, if you can, if you don't have a Netflix account, find somebody that does, borrow their username and password and log in just to watch that episode, or enroll for their 7-day free trial or whatever it is and watch it, and then cancel your enrollment, because Somebody Feed Phil, Dublin, season 2. I can't wait to talk to you about that tomorrow. Can't wait for this joy-filled week to explore joy. And thank you for allowing me to be part of your morning, and for the joy that you bring me. It has touched me with significant joy over the past few days. A few of you reached out to me and just thanked me for this time, and that has really surprised me and brought me joy. So I just want to thank you all for that. God bless you. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy your coffee. See you tomorrow.